Hello everyone, I'm Leon Pepple and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be focusing on palindromes. I'll take us on a tour of what palindrome is and I'll be solving a few questions. So I'm going to be using my VS Code editor and I'll also use some questions like on LeetCode to take us through this. So let's check the meaning. What's the meaning of palindrome? So here I googled it. So palindrome is a word, phrase or sequence that reads same as back as reads the same backward as forward. So let's take this, let's copy this, and let's put that on our code. So I'm going to use Python for this, and I'll create a file, call it palindrome.py. Yes, so I would paste this and I'll comment it. So an example is madam or nurses. So when you look at the word madam, when you read it backward and forward, it's literally the same thing. I hope you're with me. So let's get this started. So yes. So I'm using Python. So let's create a function. So let's say def, let's call it is palindrome. Let's use an argument. Let's call it word. Yeah. So what should we do? Sorry. So there are many ways to solve this. I would solve it in many ways, and I'll show us the best from my own perspective. So let's get started. So let's say we have a word, like I said, madam, madam. So this is a string. So the goal of this function is to create like a palindrome checker that tries to check words that are replicates of themselves when you reverse them. So yes, so here we have the word madam. So at the end and at the beginning we have the same letters, and as you proceed the same letters. So I'm going to use what we call pointers. So I'm going to place a pointer at the beginning of the word and place the pointer at another pointer at the end of the word. So so in this case, yes, arrays can use pointers, strings too can use pointers. So um, let me call this pointer n. So let's say n is equal to 0. Sorry, yes. Well, let me call the one on the right m is equal to um, the length of the word minus 1. Yes. So let's get started. So let's do this. So while n is less than m, so it's a conditional. So while l is less than m, if um, if word okay if word of n um, is not equal to m, sorry m, and that condition is equal to m, mm, return false. So that means it's not a palindrome. Mm, so yeah, if that condition is not met, return false. Then next, we're going to um, increment. We're going to do what we call increment. So so in this case, n is equal to 0 and m is equal to the length of word minus 1. So what that means is that when we check the word, we want to use the index. So n is the index 0. So n is the first letter of the word, and m is another index which is at the is the last index of the word. So n m is greater than n in this case. So if the first index is not equal to the last index, return false. That means it's not a palindrome. So otherwise, you do what you call increment. So increase n by 1, which is the first index, which is 0, increase it by 1, and subtract m, which is the last index, by 1. Um, by 1, sorry, by 1. Yes. So in this while loop that we're using, so we're literally looping through the word. So in this while loop we're using, at the end of the while loop, we have to return true. So if if um if it loops true and all these conditions are met, it have to return true. So let's test this. So let's say print a word. So let's put the function is palindrome. So what word should we pick? Let me pick um hello. So it will print if it's a palindrome or not. So on your VS Code, I'm using a PC, Windows PC. So we press function F5, and I'm coding in Python, so I'm picking Python file. So let's see the results. So false. So we can see it's not a palindrome. So let's choose an actual palindrome. Let's check. Like we use the word madam. Okay. So let's save Control S and function F5. Wow. So this is a palindrome. So this works for a word. Let's try a number. Let's see, will it work? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do Control S, function F5. Oops, type error. So object of type int has no length method. So in Python, um, integers don't have the length method. So that means this algorithm will not cover all test cases. So let's stop it. Um, so let's come here and comment it out. So I have another method of solving it. So and this method will cover all test cases. So let's get started. So let's create another function. This palindrome, same word. So I'm going to use a simple I'm going to use 2 lines of code to solve this. So yeah. So if let's see what word. Mm, mm, let me see. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to like stringify the argument. So I'm going to make it a string regardless of if it's a string or an integer. So I'm going to turn everything to string. So let's say string. So what? So if this is equal to, let's do the same thing. What? So there's a method. There's a method that is used to um, reverse arrays, reverse integers, reverse strings. So this is the method. Um, yes. One. So I'm going to do an if loop. So return true, or else return false. Yeah. So yes, I hope this works. So let's test this function F5. So false. So this is not a palindrome. So let's test this 1, 2, 1. Control S. So this is a palindrome. So this case works for digits. Our first approach worked for only words. So yeah, so let's test words, actual strings. So let's use the word actually. Actually, let's see. Let's work. So it's false. It's not a palindrome. So let's use the word madam. Control S and Control F5. It works. So this algorithm works while the first one we did is only valid for invalid for is only valid for strings. Okay. So let's check. Can we let's use the two approaches to solve actual questions on LeetCode. Yeah. So palindrome number. So yeah, let's get this started. This is like my internet is slow. Okay, yes. So in this case here we have type x, which is an integer, and we have yeah, we have boolean. So let's just see if we can copy and paste to save our time. Mm, yes. So let's test this. Let's see if this is going to work. Control C. Let's see. It's going to work. Obviously, we're going to have some issues here. So let me see. Mm, So we have to do this properly. In Python, you have to get the indentation correct. So let's say sorry, let's run this code. Wow. Okay, sorry. I used the word. I'm supposed to use X. Oops, sorry, X. So let's see. Will it work? So like I said earlier, object of type int has no length. So um, like I said earlier. So let's just use this. Um, just replace it with what we have here. Oops. So then just correct the indentation. Yes, so replace the word with X. Um, so let's run this code. Uh, yeah, so you run. So runtime 22 milliseconds. So that's quite fast. So I got another lead code question here. Sorry, my internet is a bit slow. So the question here is given a string S, determine if it's a palindrome considering only alphanumeric characters and ignore cases. Hmm. Yeah, so I got an approach which I solved, but in this case we can't use what we did because here there are white spaces and um, the the answer or the approach we use won't suffice. So we have to get another method. So yes, so I got a method. So before we move forward, um, I got an approach. I read and studied, and I saw that we could use this this method. So there's a Python method called is all num. So the is all num method returns true if all characters in the string are alphanumeric, either alphabets or numbers. If not, it returns false. So yes, so we're going to use that. We're going to take advantage of that method. So um, yeah, so mm, hold on. So yes, so this is my approach. So think of ways to do it. So here, in coding, capital letters actually matter. So let's first of all turn. Let's first of all use lowercase for everything. So let's let's go to this dot lower. So actually recording what the way I understood this and how I solved it. I'm just documenting it for future purpose. So let's get started. And yes, so we are going to so when we've made the lowercase of everything, we're going to create a variable and equal it to an empty string. So let's call it new variable. Equate it to an empty string. Okay, now we've gotten that. So now we've gotten that. So we're going to use a for loop. So in this for loop, um, we're going to take advantage of that is all num method, and we're going to use it. So it's going to as it loops through, we're going to loop through every character. So every character comprises of the space, the letters, the numeric um, characters, and we're going to do that. So for I in S, okay, for I in S, so we're going to use this if I. So I is every every point, or let's say in an array, when you're looking through the array from beginning to the end, when you loop through the first one, the position is I, which is the index. So when you look through the next one, the I changes. So you can, for more understanding of this, you can check um, for or loops, for or if loops or while loops. You can check loops. You can study loops in Python. So if I is all num, so this is another loop, all num. This condition is met. If this condition is met, we're going to um, add to our empty string new var is equal to new var plus I. Okay, so if if the character that we're looping is alphanumeric, we're going to loop it. So if when we loop it, we want to add it to the empty string. So I is the so okay, what means is that when you're looping, and if I is an alphanumeric character, we add it to that empty string, which is new var. So when this condition is met, um, yes, so we'll return. So for us to check if it's a palindrome, it must be the reverse. So what it means is that word, when you reverse it, it will be equal to the word which was unreversed before. So we'll just reverse it. And remember, to reverse, we use this method to reverse. So let's just copy that method. Um, yeah. So now new, so we're going to use this. uh, yeah. So we're going to test. Um, so yeah, new var. Let's take this off. So let's run. Okay, accepted. Okay, so it's true. So it worked. So let's take this and test it in our VS Code to make sure it works in another environment. So let's comment this out. So we have um, it's, in Python you have to be careful with your indentation. You have to be really careful. Okay, that's so. Let's test this. So, madam, let's say this, madam A, madam Control-S. So let's test if it's a palindrome. Oh, I'm sorry, missing one. Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. Um, missing one. Oh, I didn't get that. Um, did I do any mistake? Let's do this again. Yes. So true. So it's a palindrome that has alphanumeric characters and hash spaces. So yes, this suffices. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and like this. Thank you. I look forward to solving more questions. Bye.